What's up YouTube, it's Aditya, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Dell Inspiron 15-inch 7000 2-in-1 laptop, as you can see right here. What I'm going to go through is some of the specs, the actual build quality of the laptop, and then I'll go into playing a few games as well as doing a few benchmarks on the laptop just to show you if it's worth its price, and then at the end I'll give a final review. So this laptop cost me around $1,300, $1,400 including tax, and the first thing I can say as I'm looking at this laptop is its immense build quality. If you've ever seen MacBooks, it's kind of like that. It's got this nice matte finish. It's not really reflective, but you've got this nice black matte finish. It reflects light, but you don't see a reflection in the actual finish. You have the Dell logo as always in the center, and two hinges, which is something different for two-in-ones, because I know a lot of two-in-ones, such as you got the Lenovo Yoga, they have a hinge that goes all the way. So does the Surface Book. It has a hinge that goes all the way that detaches the display from the keyboard. That is unlike the Inspiron though. The Inspiron is a more subtle design. You've got these two hinges. They're straight flat, and that's pretty cool. On the sides for the I/O, we've got a mini display port, a charger. Oh, here, I'll just shift it a bit. We've got an HDMI port, two USB Type A's or Type C's, I believe, and a headphone jack. Something that's cool about that is the fact that there is a headphone jack in this laptop, so people who like to listen to music, that's a plus, no need for a dongle. And of course you've got the USB Type C is there as well, which is always an added bonus because then you don't need an adapter. So I'll head on over to the other side. On the other side, we have another USB port as well as an SD card slot. So if you ever want to upgrade your RAM, or let's say what I'm going to be doing for this video itself, I'll be taking the SD card from the Nikon camera and I'll be plugging it in here. So that's an added bonus if you're doing filmmaking, that's good. You can use it for a variety of sources. And the fact that there's three USB types A or C, I'm not sure, slots, that's an added bonus. You can have a mouse as well as a wireless keyboard. I'm not sure why you would want that, but maybe the mouse. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is open it up. So the second you open up the laptop, you're greeted by Windows Hello. This is a Windows Hello activated laptop. If I just point it at my face, it will open, and there we go. So the cool thing about this laptop is the fact that this laptop is a 2-in-1, even though it is 15 inches. We have hardly any bezels over here on the side. We do have a slightly bigger bezel on the bottom than on the top, and that's kind of frustrating. But the fact that there's the Dell logo there as well as the hinges slant upwards, it's a nice industrial design look. We've got the cameras up here, as well as if I just may elaborate on that, that's another added bonus. The fact that the camera is on the top is much better for, say, if you're video calling someone or if you're recording yourself in a video. It's much better than, say, the Dell XPS where the cameras are on the bottom. In addition to this, we've got a 4K display, which is really nice. If I zoom this down quite a bit, I can still see the text because of the amount of pixels. In addition to this, it does have Gorilla Glass, so it should be able to stand up to, say, this falling maybe once or twice, though I wouldn't bet on it. I might get a case for this because it does scratch really easily, this finish. I do wish the touchpad was a little bigger, but since it is a 15-inch laptop, the touchpad is pretty huge. We also have this really nice design. It kind of feels like a type of cloth, but it's really soft to keyboard. there's a good amount of clicking. So like here, I'm just gonna be quiet and click this a bit. It's got like a mechanical feel. Definitely not like the butterfly keyboard on the Apple MacBook. In addition to this, there is a good amount of travel, and I have tried typing on this, and it is really nice to type on. The feedback you get from the mechanical keyboard clicking is just astounding. We also have the power button over here, and now something that everyone's been waiting for. You can just bend this, and now you are in flat mode. You can bend this back, and as you can see now, we are in a kind of like stand view, using the keyboard as a stand if you want to like watch something or anything. There's also tablet mode, of course, and the actual laptop is also asking me if I want to switch to tablet mode. This does have auto. I can't think of the word right now. Yeah, yes, auto rotate. So if I go from here to here, it will rotate. We also have the clipboard mode, and the entire screen does rotate to match that. So that's more or less it for the laptop side of this. I'll just add the fact that this does have some fans right over here. I'll just flip it around. We also have Inspiron written on the back. Over here are the fans, and I feel like that's a really nice design for the fans because, of course, it's a laptop. Many of the times it might not be sitting on a desk, it might be on your lap. And the fact that we do have the fans over here is an added bonus. So, one last thing, here I'll just go over the specs. So the specs for this include a USB Type-C, I believe it's over here. We have active pen support. In addition to that, we have NVIDIA GeForce GTX graphics. It has an MX130, which I will try out with some games such as Minecraft and of course Fortnite. And we have the Windows Hello face recognition. And we also have the pen, which I will show you in just a second. So that's about it for the laptop. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, it also has an Intel Core i7 8th generation U series processor. So that's more or less it for the laptop. I'll go ahead and show you some stuff with the pen, and right after that we'll get into some of the tests such as the benchmarks and the gaming. Okay, so as you can see, I'm on an empty slate in Sketchpad, which the laptop actually does come with Windows Ink as well as a stylus, which you can see right over here. So I'll just go into the stylus a bit. It has two buttons over here. The top one is right click. I'm not sure of the use of the bottom one. The stylus is pressure sensitive. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but as I'm pressing it, it does have a little bit of give. You've got this little power portion to stick to your shirt, and it just says Dell. It's a really modest stylus. Nothing much, nothing out of the ordinary. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is show you some of the pressure sensitivity on the actual stylus. So let's say I'm writing with a pencil. You can see that I can make it extremely thin, like that, sort of like that, or I can make it extremely dark, like that. And this isn't a difference of speed, it is a difference of only how hard I'm pressing. Another thing, I'll just go into pencil for this, is how dark the actual pencil shows up. So if I do it lightly, it is a lighter stroke, just like it would be in real life. I'll do a few light strokes here. However, if I press the stylus downwards on top of the tablet, it will have a darker stroke. As you can see, there's the difference between that. And another thing I'd like to point out is using Windows Ink, if I use my hands, nothing happens because this stylus is meant for artists who will be getting their palms on the actual thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and erase all that. And the final thing I'd like to point out is in the bottom right hand corner over here is the keyboard, the pen keyboard. If I write something, it does have writing recognition, which will allow me to write anything and it will show up here. So let's go hello. and it will show up. I'm gonna go my, and it will show up. Now this handwriting recognition is based on your actual handwriting, which the actual laptop does test for. In settings, if you set it up, you'll be able to use this. And even without it, you will, but it will not have the same amount of accuracy as it does right now. So that's mainly it for the stylus. It's a really nice stylus, and I really like this, the look of it. But only one thing bothers me about this. The fact that it's so slippery. It is kind of annoying to hold in my hand as it just slips with my fingers going downwards as I'm holding it in my hands. However, that's it's been made up for by the fact that the stylus is such a nice pen and it is a pleasure to use. Just one last thing though. I wish that Dell had included a way to store the stylus in the laptop. Not like an extra compartment, but if the stylus was magnetic and so was like, say, the side of the laptop, I would be able to stick it on. But as you can see, that does not work. And I'm just afraid that I might lose it because of that gotten rid of functionality. So that's my views on the stylus, and let's go ahead to some of the benchmarks. Okay, so like I said, what I went ahead and did was I did two benchmarks on this PC. As I mentioned before, this has Intel integrated graphics as well as an MX130 NVIDIA GeForce graphics card. So what I did was I set all the applications using the Intel graphics card ones, and all the applications using the MX130 or the dedicated graphics card unit in the laptop ones. So I did the benchmark using these two setups, and here are the results. So for the first benchmark, what I got was, and this was with the Intel integrated graphics, I got that this PC is performing above expectations, which is obviously good. It has an amazing single core CPU score. The graphics, of course, I was using Intel graphics during this part, but it is 7.51%, which is a low 3D score. Sorry about that. The memory is obviously 16 GB and the OS version is Windows 10. So one thing that I did notice was that in both of these benchmarks was that the CPU is throttled at 90% by Windows. It's possible to change this, but I just find that it's not the best thing, because like you don't want your CPU throttled from like the beginning, of course. So I'm just gonna go through this a bit. It has an Intel Core i7 8th generation U series. We have the Intel UHD graphics that this uses. The drive is a Toshiba KS-G60. The memory kit, I don't think it picked up which memory it is, but there are two slots, and they're both actually there are two slots, but only one of them is used with the 16 GB memory card stick. So that's for the first benchmark. The second benchmark, which used the MX130, gave us this overall score. One thing that I noticed was when I used the MX130, and you might be hearing it if I just be a little quiet. I'm not sure if you hear that in the video, but the CPU fan, as well as the regular fan inside the laptop, when I use the graphics card, it just is throttled all the way up. I can hear the fan from like 5 or 10 feet away. And by the way, just for good measure, the room is quiet. And I feel like when I use the GPU, the dedicated graphics card in this laptop, and I set the PC to using that, the temperatures also rise. And I'll get into that in a second. So I feel like that also results in the processor speed decreasing. But of course, the graphics speed not more than doubled, but like it almost doubled. And we have a 12.6 3D score, which is still very low. But like obviously you can play games that you weren't able to play before if you were using the PC with the Intel integrated graphics. The rest of it's the same. We have the same specs, and in this case we have the NVIDIA MX130, and that's more or less it. So what I was talking about, the temperature, basically what I was talking about is this PC, I've been doing some browsing, watching some YouTube videos, cause like I'm lazy and like I don't do my work. Yeah. Anyways, it has 4 cores. Now the cores are extremely hot. If I'm typing, I don't feel much, but underneath the keyboard, if I just keep my hands there, it's even more. Right underneath the Dell logo, like right at this little bar, like if you think about a Mac, where the touch bar would be, if you look at that area on the Dell, it's incredibly hot. You've got 75 degrees Celsius, 70 degrees, 69 and 70 degrees Celsius. And of course, as I said, the clock is running at like full speed. I'll just show you the temperatures really quickly. You can pause it here, by the way, if you just want to like see this a little more clearly. But yeah, the temperatures are just like way off the charts. If I do turn on the dedicated graphics card, it is much better. So that's more or less it for the benchmarks part of this. I'll go ahead and play a few games. If I can get Minecraft working on this, of course I'll do that, like always. And I'll also go ahead and try out Fortnite, because like, Fortnite. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. And I hope you like this section of the video. Okay, so as you can see, I am currently skydiving down in Fortnite, which is like the game right now, and like everyone plays it. So I just thought, how about I give it a shot on this laptop? Even though like, by all extents, this laptop is not meant for gaming of like almost any kind, but I just thought how cool it would be if I could just try it out, just to see if like this was your only laptop and this was the only one you had to choose. So already, I have pretty good internet, and I already realized that this is gonna crash in the next 5 minutes or so, because I can already tell there's no there's no detail all around me. Everything is extremely laggy. In the top right hand corner next to the map, it's possible to see the FPS count. So I believe that's around 11 right now. Okay, I'm getting shot at. I can't even see where I'm getting shot at. Yeah. So here I'll hop into another game, but it's just pretty obvious that it's impossible to game on this. So like, if that's what you're looking for, if you want to find a laptop that you're able to game on, it's probably not going to be this thin and light one. You probably want to go for something that's maybe more rugged, or maybe just a thin and light laptop that's just more expensive. This laptop came for $1,300, which is an insanely good deal because it only weighs 4.5 pounds, which is still a lot. But if you're looking for something that can do productivity work, it's a work engine, as well as it can game, you probably want something that's either heavier or more expensive. So I'm just gonna put that out there. Here, I'll hop into another game. Okay, so like I was talking in the talking about in the last section of the video, where I was playing Fortnite, and the audio is really messed up. It is really easy and quite possible to play Minecraft on this laptop. Although there is a bit of lag and it is possible to notice it, it doesn't really hinder your gameplay like it did in more graphics intensive games such as Fortnite, which isn't that graphics intensive. But say you want to play Minecraft, this and a few other games are like the only games you're going to be able to play. So what I'm on the Hypixel server, and I'm just going to be recording a few games. Just mind me if I seem terrible, it's just because I don't usually play using my laptop. I have no clue what that means, but it was a loud bang and I'm scared now. Okay, I guess I'll just get a few resources. So that iron chestplate, you know. And my looting might not be that fast, and it might suck, but I haven't played this in such a long time. I'm just gonna play it to show you if there is such a game that you can play on, on this laptop. So you can play this game, and it is possible to play without, ultimately sucking. Okay, so let's try some bridging. I feel like I'm gonna reach mid. Went all the good players. Okay, I heard building. Like the lag. The lag is so real. I'm just scared at this point. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna bridge over here. And I see that someone already constructed a bridge to mid. I'm just gonna steal that, finesse that. Okay. Go up this ladder. And there's 9 players left. It's really hard to control using this laptop. But you can see that it is playable. Like, it's not like the game is not playable or anything. If I wanted to, I could play this. And if this was like, you know, the only thing you had, if you need to like calm down, relax, you know, you could play this if you needed to. Okay, so my main game plan here is to catch someone off guard, hit them a few times, and then hopefully, you know, win the fight. It's not gonna work out. Okay, I see a guy. Die, you nerd. He's in full diamond. I'm gonna die. But you just saw that. It is possible to play on this. Okay, I'm gonna hop into another game and see how that goes. Okay, joining world. And it's not like a problem with the Wi-Fi. Oh, I think it glitched. But it's not a problem with the Wi-Fi as much as it is with the problem with the actual graphics card. Like, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but the fan is like at full speed, and if I go near the top at the keyboard, in front of the keyboard, it is extremely hot where the fan is supposed to be. And although I don't think that will hurt the laptop in any way, unless it gets way too hot, I feel like if you really want a game, this isn't the right thing for you. You get something heavier, or like I said before, get something more costly. So, the game is about to start. I'll pick some random kit. I haven't played this in a long time, and that might be why I ultimately suck. But, sure, I'm gonna go with it. Okay? It's about to start the game, and if it's worth mentioning to you, even though Minecraft is like something you should be able to play with full graphics, tuned up to the max, I am playing with a resolution of 100, I'm sorry, what is it again? 1920 by 1080. I am playing on that resolution, and even then, it is terrible. Okay. Give this guy some splash. Go for me. Build. Okay. And I'm at like the lowest settings possible, as I was saying before. There is a fight. Kill this one. He's dead. Hey, this guy seems actually pretty good. He might be able to do something. Okay, and he's dead. Thank you very much. Okay, freaking. Okay, there's a guy. He has a. I need to pull up my diamond sword. No, no. Okay, that was probably a game that I lost just because of lag. Like, I don't know why, it's lagging a lot right now. It wasn't before. I did play a few games before this. But that's more or less the gaming aspect of this laptop. It isn't a game for sure. 10 out of 10. Okay, so that kind of wraps up my video. So if you like this video, please subscribe, and if you didn't, you know what to do. Don't, you know, subscribe, but like, hit the like button. If you want, you can comment. I will be sure to respond to your questions with the accurate information. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.